I mean, I can remember being like, yeah, I'm hustle culture down. Like, that's me. Like, I love this. But then there's been moments where I'm like, actually, no, somebody please come rescue me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do I have to subscribe? I mean, you don't have to do anything, but it just feels there's so much pressure. At the end of the day,
There's
that's the
so
word.
much
Pressure.
pressure.
Welcome back to Let Me Walk You Out, the podcast about growth, alignment, ambition, and navigating adulthood, and so much more. We're so happy to have you back for another episode.
Yes.
We're your host. My name is Stephanie.
I'm Kyndall.
And let's get straight into it, okay? So we're very excited for today's episode. As always, I feel like we said that at the beginning of every
We do,
episode. You know,
'cause
I'm
we
just going to
are.
scratch that line, you know, like y'all know we're
Y'all
excited.
know.
And we'll go ahead and get started with highs and lows. So, want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. Well, my high this week was Father's Day. And
Oh, yeah.
I just love seeing family, and the whole family came this time.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say the whole family, but it was a good chunk of us. Like, it felt like all his children were there. Actually, yeah, all his children were there.
Good.
So,
where else
that
could
was
they
nice.
be on Father's Day?
I
You
mean,
better be with your dad.
that's true. That's valid. But now, like, a lot of only one of his offspring is actually a father. So,
Yeah.
it would be cool if he did his own thing. Like, I would understand that, but it was
That's
nice
so
that he
true.
came and
But yeah, it was
the
good
kids
to have
came.
everyone together.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I love seeing my nieces and nephews because now I have, well, actually I only have one nephew, but two nieces. So that's like, oh, it just warms my heart just to see them growing up. It's so crazy. But yeah, that was my high. I always love getting to spend time. I love being able to spend time with family. So that just makes me happy. So yeah, that was my high this week. What about you?
Love it. My high was catching up with an old friend.
Yeah.
I went out to Hattie B's.
Ooh.
I haven't been to Hattie B's in a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that your first time?
Year. No.
Oh, okay.
This is like my fourth or fifth time now.
Yeah.
Going to Hattie B's, but I don't go often. I don't know why. I mean, I guess you have to just kind of be in the mood for like a good tender plate.
Mm-hmm.
But anytime I go, I'm having a ball. It's so good. I don't do spicy though, so I always get the mild chicken tenders. But you know, I'm in the building.
Yeah, girl.
Some people get like the scorching. I just stick to mild. I'm keeping it cute.
I barely even touch mild sometimes. I'm like, what's below mild?
Yeah,
you got anything under that?
Exactly. Like I can't.
I don't want to be
spicy.
sniffling.
Exactly.
Right.
Fighting my food. But yeah, I caught up with my friend Madison. I met her in high school.
Aww.
And then we both went to the same college as well. So known her for quite some time, but we both did different things after school. She was up in New York for a second. Now she lives in Alabama. And we just hadn't actually seen each other in like years.
Aww.
So she texted me and was like, I mean, she'll pop in every now and then and be like, hey, Kyndall, what's up? Like, we'll check in over text. But she texted me like, would you be free to like meet up between like, she gave me like a range. And I'm like, are you home?
Yes.
And so we just met up and it was such a nice catch up. Like, so shout out to Madison.
Shout out Madison.
Cause yeah, we talked about anything and everything over some hot chicken. And I just am always just really happy when I can see someone I haven't seen in a long time and just hear what they're doing in life. And it's a really nice feeling seeing everyone become who they are. And everyone's just out there like having their own like life lessons and arcs.
Yeah.
It's a good word. Arc. Everyone's on their own character arc, and then we come back together and talk about it over some chicken.
Exactly.
It's like, wow, you are
That's
really
so
out here
Atlanta.
living life, you know?
They have lemon pepper there, or are you just like throwing it out with the mild?
It's just straight like it's just straight tenders. It's not. Well, you've been there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They have like a vegan option for the chicken sandwich.
They do have a chicken sandwich. Okay. But yeah, so that was my high.
I love it.
Seeing my friend Madison.
Oh, well, hey Madison. I hope you're watching, girl.
Yeah. I'm gonna send her this episode and be like, well, just at least watch the first 5 minutes.
This one, right? Give us a like or something. Okay, well, love that. Hattie B's is good. Hattie B's is good. Which location did you go to? The one
on Moreland.
Moreland? That's over there by Little 5 Points?
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah, that's like the OG location.
Yeah, I think so. That's the one I've been to the most.
Yeah. I don't know if they still have that one off of Northside Drive, I think it was. It's over there.
They do.
They
It's still
do?
there.
Okay, cool. Because I know Snooze was over there, but I think they closed that Snooze. That was like a brunch place.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been to Snooze, but I remember seeing it there. So
yeah.
But Hattie B's is definitely still there.
Period. I'll have to circle back on them. Haven't been there in a while. Well, low for me, I just feel like I'm working all the time. Like, I feel like there are no breaks. You know, like you were talking about Miami where it was buzz, club, another club, another club. That literally feels like life for me right now. And I just really want to break, but I also don't want to break yet. And I guess that goes into today's episode.
It does. I was going to say, wow, lovely segue.
Yeah, literally. So I'm just going to leave that there. We'll break it down. But that's been my low. And just feeling like I just have not gotten the break that I feel like I've needed and or deserved just yet, even though that is going to be a loose term, whether or not you deserve a break. Because if your body's telling you need a break, you probably need to listen.
Yeah, like, you know how
not
I feel
probably,
about that.
But
you don't even need to be deserving. Like, what even is the concept of
like, how do you
deserving
deserve a break? I mean, let's be fair. Like, somebody shows up to work, they ain't done nothing all day, and then they talk about something they need a break.
There's extreme examples, but I think in the context of us,
we always
never
need a break.
not deserved it because we be working. So
and we do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of been my low. Like, this week was actually insane. It felt like every minute I was doing something. And I'm not going to lie, it was a productive week. And I felt like I got a lot done. But I just feel so mentally exhausted. And I'm definitely looking forward to just being able to relax. But I also just don't think that I'm the type of person that can do that. Like, even when I'm relaxing, even when I'm taking a break, my mind is constantly still moving. Like, what else, or how can we, I'm just going to do this. Like, even when I'm on vacation, like, that's what they say. Like, when you do take trips and you go on vacation, your mind is the freest, allowing you to think. And that's the time to write stuff down and to, let your thoughts go where they want so that you could come back and reconcile them and like make action plans with those. Because I do have good ideas and things like that when I am just like taking a break and taking a step outside of Atlanta, Georgia. But I don't know, like, even on vacation, when I'm working and I'm thinking like that, it just feels like it needs to be done now. Like, you have an idea and it needs to be executed upon in that exact moment.
Yeah.
So that's my low, just in general, over the past couple of weeks. That's how I've been feeling. And I'm looking forward to having a break. But like I said, I don't even know if the break that I get is actually going to be a break. So,
yeah. Well, we'll leave it there because that's definitely the entire topic today. Exactly. So we're going to pick it back up.
We're definitely going to pick it back up.
Yeah. My low was that my skin was breaking out. Like, and I hate that.
Yes, I understand.
My skin goes up and down. It's been that way for like basically my entire young adult life. Like maybe around middle school, high school, I'm noticing. No, high school.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I remember when I was in high school, I used to get compliments all the time about my skin. People were like, your skin is glowing. And this would happen just at the most random times I'm walking in the hallway, like always. And then I started to get like hormonal acne and I never heard that compliment again. I don't even think I've gotten that type of compliment like ever again.
Oh my gosh.
It was such a switch and I noticed it. I was like, wow, like, because my whole face was just like covered, it felt like. So, yeah, I have moments of it being okay and then moments where it's like, ooh, baby.
Yeah.
We got to get this together. Like whiteheads galore, oily galore, like everything. But it's really just because at this point, I kind of know my triggers. And I was just stressed out. Like we talked last episode about me moving. Stressed out with that. Stressed out with my eating habits, sleep habits, like it's just a lot going on. So when you combine all that, it's a recipe for my skin to look crazy.
Yeah.
But I just feel like when my skin is breaking out, I don't show up in the world as confidently. I try my best to, because you shouldn't ever be not confident because you have acne. Like plenty of people do, and plenty of people look great with acne. But I personally, I'd be like looking at everyone else, like everyone looks great with acne, but me, I feel insane. So yeah, it wasn't like the most confident week I've ever had, and then sometimes I just start spiraling into like everything else that I'm feeling insecure about, and I try to stop that thought train because it's like, why are we even going there? So Yeah, would I say it was like my most confident, just like, oh, I love how I look right now type of a week? Probably not. And I think it impacted my mood a little bit more than just surface level acne.
Yeah.
So I think now we've got it a little bit more under control, but for a minute there, it was just feeling like, a little bit out of control.
I don't ever think that your skin looks that bad, but we are our own worst critics.
We are.
I'm gonna let you have it.
We are.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, you got good skin, my girl. You glowing all the time.
Girl.
She talked about she was breaking out during move-in. I was there. I didn't see none of that. But
what? you weren't looking.
She even had the glasses. So I was looking at her face. I didn't see nothing, not Jack Sugar Honey Iced Tea. So
maybe I got a picture. I gotta show you a picture.
No, you don't have to show me nothing. Girl,
it was there. It was just so preoccupied with them boxes and stuff. We didn't have time to look.
Girl, we had time to frolic. We was frolic. We was walking. We was
frolic
talking.
In the field.
Yeah, literally. Well, but I feel you. Like, skincare is one of those things that it's just so up and down, especially as women. Like, it's so irritating.
Yeah.
And it could be so good one week, and you're like, oh my God, we're in the upwards direction. Like, we're doing good. And then the next week,
I'm doing great. And
boom.
You didn't change anything about your skincare.
You kept the water intake up.
Yeah.
You're working out. You eating right. And then
it's just out of nowhere. And it's always before an event. Yeah. It's always before you want to go somewhere. Your skin will look phenomenal when all you have planned that week is working from home. You're looking phenomenal on the call with your boss. She's like, wow, you look great. Like, the audience is just Zoom.
Yeah, literally.
It's time to step out. Why do I have...
right in the middle of the forehead. Like, literally me.
It's like, are you serious right now?
Like, anywhere else. I hate the forehead, and I hate, like, around, like, the nose and lip area.
Yeah.
You could do cheek or whatever. Like, I feel like,
because that's not... I mean, you see it, but I don't see it, so it's more out of just, like, my...
Yeah.
It's not face on.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for me, I get them around my jaw, my cheek, a little bit on my forehead. Like, it's just in unfortunate places where I'm just like, this is ruining my day.
Yeah, I feel you.
But it's okay.
Yeah, actually, I was going to tell you, and I'll tell y'all too, but the Mighty Patch, those pimple patches?
Mm-hmm.
So, Good Molecules actually makes pimple patches too.
Mm-hmm.
And they sell them in packs of, like, I want to say it's like 30. It's double the amount that Mighty Patch comes in for like half the price. And so I was like, oh, let me try these out, we'll just see, like, because I was going to get my regular pimple patches as I do, and I saw these and I was like, well, I'm getting more and I'm paying less, and I know Good Molecules are a good brand, so let me just try it. And they work just as well, if not even better.
Say that.
Yes.
Because I think that's the biggest problem for me with them pimple patches. Yes. I would love to always have them in stock.
But it costs a little, like, that's penny. At least like, $12, $15 I'm spending just for like
20 sometimes.
Yeah.
Because for like the invisible ones, I love the invisible ones.
I don't get the invisible ones.
See, I had to just, sometimes I have to bite the bullet because I want to go out and run errands and have it on.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is so nice, but why is it $5 more?
Exactly. Because they know it's convenient to just put it on and
I'm like, is there anything in the formula that makes this cost $5 more, really?
No,
because something's telling me no. But good to know. Good Molecules.
Yeah, Good Molecules. Okay. I'll send you the link. I'll put it in the description below.
Yeah,
for real.
This isn't even sponsored.
It's really not. I just had a good experience with it, and I really wanted to let you know because I literally was thinking that last night. Oh, I was putting them on, and I was like, oh, I need to tell Kyndall about these because at this point, I'm on like the third sheet. And there's like 2 more in there.
Oh, amazing.
And I'm like, every time I put it on, it's getting everything it needs to get. And I don't feel like I'm wasting any. And sometimes I feel so bad when I waste a pimple patch and it doesn't come out with anything. And I'm like, dang, that was like $2. Like,
calculating how much you paid per
pimple patch. So frustrating.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
But yeah, I'll send you the link so that you can have that.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, okay, so let's talk about the Black Business of the Week.
Yes.
So this Black Business of the Week is called For God's Nation. For God's Nation is a clothing brand which is operated primarily online. He does pop-ups sometimes. And we actually have like some cute little products that he makes. So For God's Nation is a clothing line this is really cute. Like, this is a blue one, that's a pink one.
Yeah.
And they have like these really super cute, like intricate designs.
Love it.
I don't know if you can like see that pretty well, but yeah. He does shirts, he does sweatshirts, hats. There is definitely a whole catalog of clothing that you can look into. And the primary goal is just to spread the word of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, per his words is himself, and just spreading awareness about that and letting people tap into it and being able to just spread the gospel, honestly. And so it's a beautiful mission. It's a beautiful clothing brand. Um, yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think about what else I wanted to say about it, but we've been working with them. My business has been working with them for a calm minutes, and yeah, we're excited to see the journey of For God's Nation and the message that we can really spread with clothing. And because clothing, it talks, people really look at what you wear and they have a message about you just from what you have on before even speaking to you. So this is a really cool project to be on. It's not necessarily a project, more so of a message and a brand to be aligned with. So definitely check that out. Their link to their website will be in the description, as well as all of their socials if you want to learn more. And also in the description, we have Vibe Check too. So if you want to read exactly what that person had to say about their business, you can do that from Vibe Check. So just wanted to point that out.
Amazing. Awesome. Yeah. Love the message, and every time that you wear this, get so many compliments. It's beautiful.
So cute.
It's cute. So
yeah.
And
just when I got that hat too, he had a pink and green one. And I almost did it, but I was like, girl, you don't even wear pink and green that often anymore. Like when I had first crossed, every day was pink and green.
Yeah.
But now I'm about 4 or 5 years removed, so it's like,
do I really need
the pink and green?
Maybe you can spin back on it.
Yeah,
so you have a special occasion
right,
hat.
Exactly. But I didn't really need the pink and green for everyday wear.
Yeah.
So he has so many different colorways, and if you go to the pop-up events too, there's more custom things than what's on the website. So I would just say follow on social media, because even today there's a pop-up event going on, and that's where he is. And I'm sure he has custom clothing designed just for that event, or just something that he might have thought of that might not be on the website. So pretty cool. Definitely check it out. Follow them on social media. I love everything that they have. I need to get more things, but I am a hat girly. I've learned that about myself. I do love a good hat. So the catalog is growing.
Yeah.
Proudly. So
I love it.
Me too. But yeah, if you have a Black-owned business, this is a great time to say, if you have a Black-owned business, or if you know anyone who owns and operates and does a really good job, it could be food, it could be clothing, it could be technology, it can literally be whatever, as long as it's Black-owned, credible, of course, reputable, of course. Definitely click that Black-owned business spotlight request form in the description and submit those Black businesses. We'd love to give them a shout out. We'd love to talk about them, go and experience them for ourselves. So do us a favor, help us out, help them help, help us help you at the end of the day.
Let us help you out.
Right. Let us help you out. Exactly. Perfect. Well, we could get into
our topic of the week.
Which is hustle culture.
Hustle culture.
Specifically in your 20s. Because that's what we can speak to. I don't know about hustle culture in your 30s, 40s, 50s, so on and so forth. But I know hustle culture in your teens and in your 20s. And yeah, that's the topic. Enough said. Hustle culture, period. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about it, because I feel like we've been talking about wellness. We talked about all the things that we're doing, right? Some of the setbacks that we had along the way, our values, and I just feel like Kyndall and I both feel like it's just an appropriate time to talk about hustle culture and the impact that it's kind of had on us in a way. So I'll let you lead, girl. I'll let you lead.
I think it would be good to start with what we even think hustle culture is, because we were kind of, before we sit down and talk about a topic, we don't ever sit down and go line item by line item.
Yeah, no.
The conversation just unfolds, but we always are okay, girl, what are you thinking? And we kind of just started talking about what hustle culture means to us. So I guess that's where we'll start. But when I think hustle culture, I really do envision, the words that come to mind are 9 to 5, corporate, side hustle, multiple streams of income, businesses, you're booked and you're busy. All of those terms come to mind when I think about that. And I was telling Steph, there's just a duality about how I feel about it. There's one side of it where I'm very much in alignment with that lifestyle. I want to be booked and busy and have
Yes.
exciting things going on and have something to show for myself. And I love when I look at my calendar and I feel like it's full and I have a lot going on. Like that does make me happy. But there's another side of it where it feels overwhelming. It feels a little too competitive, and it feels a little too much like it's taking up too much real estate in my mind to constantly be thinking about improving and now what's next, and am I even really sitting in the moment that I'm in right now and feeling content in it, or am I just always running towards something? And I think even social media has amplified that a lot, so that brings in more of the competitive aspect of it's not just me competing with me. I feel like I'm opening up Instagram and like low key comparing what I have going on to what everyone else has going on, because somebody's always launching a business.
Yes.
Somebody's always putting something in front of you to buy. Something's always happening in someone's life that it's a lot to consume. And even just the world we live in, like the country we live in, is capitalist.
Yeah.
So it's you always are seeing advertising, marketing. There's always something new and innovative pushing something forward. And so I want to be in step with all of that, but then sometimes stuff just feels like it's moving so fast that I can't even wrap my head around it. Yeah. So that's what hustle culture is to me, and I think this episode it would be good to just talk about how I've, I guess, dealt with it, right? Like where do I fit in all of that, and what has come up for me when I think about that concept. But I'll pause there and like let you talk about what it means to you, but that's what comes up for me.
I concur. I really don't have much to add, but I agree with that. I feel in alignment, yet I still feel like things might be moving too fast and it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can remember being like, yeah, I'm hustle culture down. Like, that's me. Like, I love this. But then there's been moments where I'm like, actually, no, somebody please come rescue me. Like, do I have to subscribe? I mean, you don't have to do anything, but it just feels there's so much pressure. At the end of the day, that's the word.
So much pressure.
Especially just us being very ambitious women in general, high achievers, and just wanting so much out of life while we're here and while we have it. The pressure just feels immense. It feels like there's an elephant that's about to step on my head, and like I'm trying to hold the weight of it up. And that's hard. So let's get into it.
Yeah. Before we really get into it, that just reminds me of something from our values episode that I learned about myself when I took it. And something you said just made me think of it. But my top value being eudaimonia, which if you haven't listened to that episode, please do. It's so good.
Yes,
we talk about our values, and then we also provide the quiz that we took the values, or we learned what our values were. So you can also do it as well. It's a super, super informative assessment. But my top value being eudaimonia, which is prioritizing joy and happiness and contentment in your life, and you want your life to be centered around experiences that make you feel that. But also a top value of mine is affluence. And those two, the quiz will literally tell you what are at odds in your values. Those two are at odds because I want to have wealth for the purpose of having freedom, having options, having choices, and having stability. But then you have to make sacrifices on how much you're willing to just have a life that just feels nice and I'm at peace, and because you can't really have both. Like there's always going to be a trade-off. So that the quiz told me that that's a trade-off for me. And that is something that, you know, when you say you're hustle culture down, then when it's time to actually get in there and do it, you learn so much about yourself. Like, all right, wait, hold up. Who I actually am and what I thought that I wanted to do or be, it may not always be what you thought it was going to be. You might actually be up all the time working and realizing I feel like I'm not truly living life versus another person might do that and think this is what life is. So you have to know yourself. But I think where we could start is just the question of like, because you said you had times where you're like, please someone save me. Like, what were some of the times where you felt like hustle culture became overwhelming to you, like the times where it no longer felt empowering, but it felt like, maybe I'm like overworking myself?
I think right now with the phase of life that I'm in, ever since left my job, I feel like that was a catalyst event. Like that was the canon event in my life. You know how in Marvel movies are like, this was the canon event that like changed everything. I feel like that literally was how that was for me, because once I left that job, everything just started to unfold. Before I left, I started my LLC. Didn't have any clients or anything like that. I just kind of started it as like a stay ready so you don't have to get ready sort of moment, and had that kind of just going in the background. And then once I left, I had maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe three, I'll say, where I wasn't really doing much. Like I was just kind of like in limbo, waiting for the next thing to come through. But like I was, right when I left, it was like, boom, okay, yeah, just got a social media client for my business. Then, boom, just got this part time job. And then, boom, just got another social media client. And then everything just kind of happened and cascaded so quickly. And then I was like, okay, cool. So now I have the 9 to 5, and then I also have the 5 to 9. And I think it's getting to the point now, because then the part time went full time. Now I've got more on that plate. And then the clients that I'm working with, like we're progressing, we're growing, and now it's like the plate is very full. Now I'm trying to make room for the things that I actually want to do, such as businesses that I actually want to work with, investments that I want to start making time for me. Shoot, like I'm not even like talking about going to the gym, meal prepping, reading, and like doing the things that actually pour into me. Like that's not even on the in the picture right now, you know? And so I think right now it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, at what cost? What do I actually want out of this? Where do I see myself going with XYZ client? You know, is this something that I can see long term, or am I just doing this for the check at the end of the day? And so I think that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I've been weighing that for a good couple months and going into like the end of the year, because so much has changed in the year, which makes me know, like when I see how much of my life has changed in a short amount of time, I know when I look forward, I can't even begin to conceptualize what my life will look like 6 months from now too.
Yeah.
Because 6 months ago, a lot of the things in my life right now did not exist. The podcast, the full-time job, you know, like even some of the brands that we work with, couldn't have even guessed that. So I always like just want to allow space, which is why I like to think more about, okay, what do I want out of this? What do I want to create? What do I want out of quote unquote hustle culture versus what I don't want? Because if I focus on what I do want, I'm allowing and creating the space for that to come in. So I think that shortly after leaving my job, like that September, October, when it's like the great lock-in, you know, I'm like, okay, we're hustle culture down, like we're getting to it, like I'm in the great lock-in, I'm getting my work done, I'm editing these videos, I'm cranking it out. And then I think I got to just a point where I was like, okay, what are we doing this for? Hold up, like what actually is the goal now? Because you get everything you want and then you question, wait, did I actually even want this in the first place? So yeah.
Beautifully said, because I've been there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what is making me pause a lot more lately, is that I have so far just been speed running to a bunch of things. And when I get there, it's low-key underwhelming. Yes. And I'm like, okay, why do I feel like this? You know? And I don't want my whole life to feel that way. So that is that aspect of hustle culture, which is constant putting output. That's the part that we're rejecting. Yeah. Because you can make better decisions and know what's best for you, because you'll come to an answer about what you want to do with your business and how you want to split your time.
Yeah, it's just getting to a point where I think I did rush into hustle culture because I felt like I was escaping something, like I was doing my best to escape the life that I was living mentally, physically, emotionally, so on and so forth. And it's almost like you're running so fast to get on the train because you think you're about to miss it. You're about to miss the train, right? And you're running, you're running, you're running. You finally get on the train. The train is moving and you're like, phew, I made it. But then you realize, you look up, oh, the train is going in the complete opposite direction of where I actually wanted to go.
Right.
And that's how I felt with like the businesses that I started, the jobs that I got. And I'm like, okay, we're moving in the right direction. We're moving in a direction. Then you get and you realize, is this actually what I want to be doing? And so now I have to hop off the train, reassess, let me orientate my map, and see what direction I actually want to be going in, and then hop on that train instead.
Yeah, that actually makes total sense. Like, I'm glad you said it that way. It's such a good visual to exactly what that feels like.
Yeah.
It definitely feels better than being stagnant. So then you're happy to just be moving.
I'm doing something.
But then enough time passes where you look up at the direction and you're like, wait a minute. Like,
right.
Am I sure that I want to be going there instead of maybe somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
Which is okay. Like, that's life. You are able to change your mind.
Yeah,
that's
you
the
hop
beautiful
here.
thing about it.
You hop there. You come over here. You try that out.
It's totally normal.
Mm-hmm.
But I relate to that more than you know, because I would say the first time that I realized I'm doing a lot, like maybe I'm leaning too much into the like over hustling, was in college. And like in a past episode I mentioned that there was like a year in college where I just was feeling so stagnant and helpless and just a victim to so many of my circumstances. Like I had a lot going on at one point, and there just came a time where I was like, I just don't want to feel this way anymore. Like I actually do have the resources and the tools to do something else. And what are we gonna do? Like waste our life away? Like waste our college years away? It's just, I just wanted to up and do something. And so that year that I decided to up and do something, I like up and decided to do something.
Everything.
I was doing everything. Like it wasn't a single club, event, networking situation, experience, new friends, new people, new classes, like new job. I just wanted to do whatever, and I was not saying no to anything because I was tired of living my life on the sidelines, like we've talked about in the past. Mm-hmm. I had an internship that then rolled over, like it extended, but it kind of became more of a full-time role because my hours were literally 40 hours a week. So it was technically still an internship, but I had real responsibilities, like I was an employee, and I still had to go to class. And I remember that semester just being so heavy. Mm-hmm. And I was also, again, trying to be on more e-boards. So I remember I was on an e-board for a couple of orgs. I was trying to meet more people. So any event that would just pop up, oh, we're doing this on a yard, I'm there. Mm-hmm. I was just always doing something. And I remember running to class. I had homework due for that class, or I had a test for that class. So I'm like studying for it on the way to the class. Let's say we take the test. Then after we get to like the instruction, I have my work laptop open next to my personal computer because I'm doing something that needs to get done by, let's say the class is at 1 p.m. This needs to get done by 2. So I'm doing this, but I'm also trying to take notes because this is going to be important for whatever is coming up next in this class. But then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh gosh, we have an event tonight for this like club that I'm a part of. And I was like the secretary. So that's all things communications, organization. I have people I need to respond to. So then I'm thinking about that every single day. Every single day was like that. Mm-hmm. By the time Saturday rolled around, I wanted to lay down, but then that wasn't hitting my social goals because I was tired of having like 1.5 friends. I wanted to get out more.
1.5? Who is the half? 1.5. Who is the half friends? I can't even say a cat because you didn't even have the cat.
I didn't even have my cat at that point. This is my 1.5 friends, girl. I don't know. I just was tired of being up in my room all the time. Yeah. It's like, girl, get outside and meet people. So it's like, no, there's something going on. Saturday, I need to be there. Then Sunday was brunch, and I need to be there. Like, everything was just needing to be there.
Yeah.
And I was so stressed out. I remember, like, I look back at what I looked like at that time. I was like malnourished. My skin, the skin thing is always a thing when I'm stressed. My skin was always breaking out. Mm-hmm. I couldn't figure out why my energy levels were so low. And I'm looking back like, well, you just had way too much going on. Was it all in a good direction? Did I like the job? It was a PR agency. Did I like PR? Yeah. Did I like the clubs I was in? Yeah. Did I love the people and the experiences that I was having? Yeah. But it all was way, way, way too much. That was the first time that I can remember just reassessing, is this worth it? Is this really worth my mental health now feeling like it's in shambles, but I'm doing a lot. I'm outputting a lot. Like, I remember I won an award at this scholarship that I applied for, and it just felt like such a pat on the back, but it also just felt, it was such a strange feeling. I was like, I'm doing all this work. There's so much I'm getting recognized for right now, but I was genuinely so exhausted. I was so exhausted. Spring break happened like shortly after I won the award, went on spring break, and I don't even think that was able to, I didn't help me recover. And that was like a week of just being on the beach. I came back and I still just felt overwhelmed. Tired. Like, it was just a tired that was just in my bones. And I'm not that girl. Like, I'm not that girl. Even now, I wouldn't even say I'm working as hard as I was back then. I never want to work that hard again. And it's because it's just not in me.
That's a funny thing to say, but I feel you.
I never want to work that hard again because first of all, like,
it wasn't fun.
It wasn't. I wasn't having fun. I mean, I was having fun, but it wasn't fun overall because of what I realized I was sacrificing, which was sleep, which was time with myself. Like, a hobby. What hobbies?
Did they exist?
No, I didn't have no hobbies. I wasn't doing anything for me. The gym. I wasn't even a gym girl back then, but if I was, I certainly wouldn't have been there because I was just up all the time working and thinking about the next thing. Like, it was extremely exhausting. I was also in the middle of writing my thesis because I was a researcher. That thesis was like 50 to 60 pages long.
Tell me about it.
So much work went into that. It was so much going on. So that was the first time I've experienced it. I've experienced little pockets of feeling overworked ever since, but I think I just have boundaries in my mind of where I'm willing to go and where I'm not willing to go. And my boss said something to me that was, I use it all the time. I say it to myself all the time because I came to her maybe a couple months ago, just stressed out about a project that I'm trying to get off the ground at work, and it's not going as fast as I want because little things keep coming up every day that I have to do. So spending time building this new project is taking longer. And she was like, give yourself a long runway. She was like, stop trying to get everything done in 1 week, 2 weeks. If it needs a long runway, just build that in. That way you don't feel like you're behind, but you gave yourself a realistic timeline. And so that's what I do now. I give myself the longest of possible runways, and I don't feel guilty about it anymore. And if I do start to feel guilty, I rewire my brain. And that's what I've been doing with like my business. That has taken so long. And I wish I could just have snapped fingers and had everything together and just have my clients. But I'm so stressed out in a lot of other areas of my life that if I don't have time to do this today, the runway is long because it's my runway. It's my timeline. Exactly. When it's supposed to happen, it will happen. When I have everything together, it is together. So I just try to like rework the perspective because I've definitely been there where we're on the train. It's like, thank God it's moving. Choo-choo. Like, thank God we're moving somewhere, but it's not worth any of these other things that are very important to me, which is just time to myself, time with my family, time with my friends, time in nature, time to do absolutely nothing, to be a couch bum. I like to be bummy sometimes. I don't need every single moment of my life to look perfect. Sometimes I'm just at home looking crazy on my couch all day, and I need those days. I was telling you before we started filming, I just feel so mentally fogged right now, and it's really just because I've not had a day to just like be. I always have to see somebody. I always have to go somewhere. I always have to do something, and it's not sustainable for me. So I'm trying to lean out of that aspect of hustle culture because I do want to be ambitious, but I don't want it to intrude on so many other parts of my life that really do prioritize going slow.
I also feel like one of the experiences where I did experience hustle culture is very similar to yours, and it did happen whilst in college. And that's I think I talked about that on what led me to wellness, because after that year, after that semester, whatever gap of time that was, it got to a point where it was like, who child? Like, you need to structure and prioritize things differently. And a whole episode needs to be done on how to balance a quote unquote full-time job, because it could be part-time, but I mean, I feel like our internship experiences of it being demanding are very similar.
It's crazy, right?
It is like, a little insane because we're
that type of experience.
Interns, but yet we're technically like employees. Like, they're literally treating us as like a full-time employee. And I've definitely had that experience where, okay, like, I understand this organization has goals, but I think they're missing the fact that I'm also a student. But also, should they care? You know, because you did apply to be a part of this internship, and knowing what it was going to take. Well, personally, I didn't really know exactly.
I was gonna say they should definitely care you're a student.
I think
because
they
that's
should
the name
care.
of the game, and that's what all
it's
interns
an internship,
are.
you know, like if
it's supposed
somebody
to
came to me
supplement.
applying for an internship, their role would be very like narrow. Like they're gonna have things to do for sure, and it's gonna move the needle, but I'm not gonna have them doing all these presentations. And like if they want to speak to key opinion leaders and managers and SVPs and all that, sure, but that's not going to be
like
their duty. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I got thrusted into this position where I'm like in front of stakeholders, I'm speaking to the board, I'm doing all these things, and I'm like,
that's a lot of trust for an intern anyway.
I'm literally an intern.
Saw something in you to put you in that position,
which is cool because I got that experience.
Like,
but
wow, this can be a lot.
This is a lot. It actually was a lot. So that was like one of the experiences in hustle culture that led me to wellness. But at that time, I didn't think of it as hustle culture. I literally just thought of it as like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And I'm a social butterfly, so I love that, you know, but there was points in times where, like you said, like I needed to just be, and I don't think I really understood that about myself, that I did need to just be, because I was not a person who just could go and like spend the whole day alone. I'd be like, okay, it's dinner time, who am I going to eat with? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that being ambitious in general is going to be one of the things that ultimately leads you to kind of be quote unquote victim to hustle culture, because I think that just us as like ambitious, high achieving women in general, we're going to fall victim to that in some way. But with that, you know, how do you pivot and know when it's time to take that step back? How do you know if you are a victim of hustle culture? I think you can feel that in your bones. Like I think you can feel like, I'm feeling overwhelmed. How do I work through this? So
yeah,
I really just loved everything that you touched on, especially because it does start all the way back there. And my brain doesn't even go there anymore, because I feel like that was a part of my life that's over, and like I'm on a new chapter, and I can't keep going back to the chapters and referencing that for, you know, just going forward. I just can only look ahead. And I realized this when I was on a meeting the other day. It was like some sort of, where was I? I can't remember. Oh, I was in like one of the healing lounges, and the topic was present, like staying present. And one of my struggles is staying in the present because I'm always thinking about the future. But I think a lot of people also have a hard time staying in the present because they're always thinking about the past. And I just think I'm the reverse. Like I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking ahead. I don't really have time to think about what happened back then. Like, you know, that happened, was going forward. And so I think that's one of the things with me when it comes to just ambition and why I do what I do in general, because I am always thinking about the future. I am always thinking about, what would future me do? What is my highest version of myself going to do? How quickly can I merge the timeline and be that person? But that kind of stuff just doesn't happen overnight, unfortunately.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. And they say if you focus a lot on the past, it's like more so the cause of depression.
Yeah.
And then a lot more in the future is anxiety.
Exactly.
And I do both.
Yeah.
I'm a ruminator, and then I also do think about the future as well. So there's times in my life where I feel more anxious, and it's because I'm just constantly trying to analyze the situation from every possible way and predict every outcome and be prepared. I always say I'm just going to be prepared, but you know, you're also just masking that you're overthinking. And then there's times where I do think about the past a lot, because I also I think that's also me trying to be prepared. It's me trying to learn from past lessons that I've had, and I don't like to make the same mistake twice, because the first time I make it, I do give myself a lot of grace.
Yeah.
But the second, third, fourth times, I start to feel like, what are we not learning here? And that one, I think just the concept of burnout, that was probably one of the first times I truly felt burnout, but it keeps happening at little moments that it brings me back to that moment, because I just try to form patterns in my life. Like I try to make everything make sense in my mind. I think I'm a very emotional person, but I'm also so logical.
Yeah.
And it just needs to make sense. And when it doesn't, I get stuck there. That's probably what's happening. So yeah, maybe it was easier in school because the achievements were very tangible. Like, okay, at the end of the road though, I got hand claps, I got awards. But now the burnout that I feel, is genuinely like, then the day just keeps going. Okay, cool. Then I gotta still clock in tomorrow. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
I'm burnt out. Well, this is the job we're paying you to do. Like, there is a lot less grace. I could break down as a student and be like, I am just overwhelmed. Your teacher might be like, all right, you know, like, cause
let's give you an extension on this assignment.
Yeah. But now it's like, well, okay, and we're all burnt out. So what are you gonna do about it? Like, and nobody really just has. You're an adult, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, there have been recent instances of me feeling extremely burnt out, but now lately it's a lot less to do with just pure work, and it's always just work plus other stuff. And that's what's tripping me up. It's work is having to get done, but I'm also dealing with so much else.
Yeah.
Blending work and personal life has really been a challenge, and making sure I'm showing up in all avenues. But that's a different conversation, you know? But
is it?
I mean, it kind of is, and it kind of isn't.
It does contribute to hustle culture, but I feel like it more so contributes to burnout and how to balance everything versus just hustle culture.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just keep it.
Yeah.
Because that could be a whole different topic.
No, seriously, like, we really could talk about that. When it comes to burnout, I did literally read something that was like, people think that you can get over burnout in a week. Like, actually recovering from burnout takes a lot longer. Like, your nervous system literally has to reset, and you can't do that in a weekend. You can't do that in a couple of days. Like, a trip is not going to solve that for you. Like,
yeah, it's not.
You need literal, like, months.
It needs to be a structural change. It's not a, all right, I'm just going to lay out by the beach for a little bit and then we'll be back. Or the same concept of missing sleep. Like, okay, I'm going to just make up for the sleep. You don't make
there's
up
no
sleep.
such thing. Yeah,
you're
in a sleep deficit. Like, you have to, if you are 6 hours in a sleep deficit, you can't just sleep 6 hours and, like, make it up. Like, it's like an extra hour every single night for the next 7 to 10 days to make up for that deficit and then some.
Yeah.
And that's hard. I'm barely even getting 7 hours. What do you mean make up an hour? Like,
yeah, it's really just a priorities thing for me. And it's been a part of why it's been easier for me to not feel, because there is just still this feeling of, I just feel so guilty when I'm not doing something. And I wouldn't say it's 100% cured, but because it still kind of exists. Like, there's just like this internal voice in my mind that's like, but you could be doing this, or like, you need to be doing that, or you're not moving fast enough here. You need to be, it's like, it's just always criticizing what I have going on. Even when it's trying to be positive, it's still, but like, okay, good job, but we could, you know, it's always a but, like, it's always a but. But, right. No pun intended.
Slight chuckle.
My priorities changing as I've gotten older has helped me not to feel so guilty about rest, because there's so many high performing people. There's so many just not even high performing, just regular people who are just hardworking, like your parents, your aunts, your uncles, that have so many health problems. Back is a mess, or like they have sleep issues, or they just have trouble relaxing because their brain is always spinning. None of these issues are to be taken lightly. The joke that moms are never able to sit down because they are just so used to like holding the entire family together, and when they finally get their day off, they're up vacuuming. People joke, but it's not a joke. People don't know how to sit down, and then they're going to the doctor and they have all of these health problems that they don't know where it came from. Why is my blood pressure always high? Why do I have diabetes? Why do I have Alzheimer's? It's all linked to this such a high, like we just live in such a stressful world, and it's people are breaking down, and I just refuse. I refuse. There is no goal of mine that is that serious where I'm excusing behavior now that's like, well, but let me just crank it out. I'm just not that person. Like, I know people say, you're in your 20s, you have all this energy, this is the time where you need to be, so that way you can have a soft life. This soft life that they're promising at 30, 40, 50, it's like they're dangling like, you know, like a carrot or a diamond or something. You keep sprinting to it, and you're gonna think you're getting there, and then you create more, it's a never ending cycle. And I think the movie Soul perfect. That's why it's one of my favorite movies. Perfectly encapsulates what that looks like when you are constantly like running to something. So it's not easy now because I get so swept up in the day to day. I get so swept up in what I have going on, what everyone has going on, all these opportunities. I know so many cool people. It's like, yo, let's all collab. We sit down. We got these business ideas. Yo, we could all be rich tomorrow if we just locked in. And
No, seriously.
everything sounds so, so, so good. But in practice, I just have realized I'm the kind of person that just gets tired easily. And it's like, why am I trying to fight that? When I know I'm just a person that needs to be a little bit more chill. I don't need to have an obligation every day. And lately that's been that way. And I see what's happening to myself. Like, I'm so burnt out, you know? So yeah, a combination of knowing who you are, but also just like waking up to a little bit of the smoke and mirrors behind what exactly is hustle culture going to give you? Like, what exactly are you gaining out of it? I think I wrote down, like, what are we chasing? Yeah, and it's like you have to know for yourself, what exactly are you chasing, or else you can get so swept up in a lot if you're not intentional, if you're not clear.
Yeah, it's like that thing where you have to write down your overall mission and vision statement for your life and really envision. That's why vision boards are like so powerful to me. Even though 2026, you know, she got a Pinterest board. She didn't necessarily get
that's okay.
a vision board, but I still got visuals. They're not just put together on one sheet of paper just yet. You know, the year is not over yet.
It's okay.
But when you make those kind of statements, it just helps you to keep going. Like when you reference your vision statement or your mission statement for your life, because, you know, they make them for businesses, and that keeps the employees like constantly moving towards a common goal. But when you do that for your life, I feel like that really helps you to just keep envisioning, okay, this is what I'm waking up, this is what I'm doing it for. At one of my jobs where I used to interview, one of the questions that we used to ask is, what is one of your biggest motivations in life? And for a lot of people, it was kids. You know, they had kids. And there was a moment in time where I was like, dang, maybe I need to pop one out to keep me motivated.
Don't do it, sis.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But I was like, dang, everybody's saying they kids. Maybe I need a kid to keep me motivated.
There's got to be another way.
There's got to be something else. There's got to be something else. But for a lot of people, it was just like the life that I see for myself. And I think that's what one of my biggest struggles is because, like, whenever I think about taking a break or, you know, giving myself rest without feeling guilty, I always just think about the life that I want to live and the life that I am literally trying to create every single day. And it just gets so frustrating because I know that I'm so close, but I'm so far. And it's hard for me to literally rest without feeling guilty because there is always something that can be done. Like even last night when we got back, I was sitting here and I was like, okay, I could do my nails, I could edit this video, I could edit a video, I could put this coffee table together, or I could, you know, straighten up the kitchen. There was like just so many things that I could have done. And I literally I got to a point where I got in the shower and I just chose sleep because I was tired of thinking of all the things that I could be doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, if I do my nails, I'm not editing the video.
Analysis paralysis.
But exactly. I just was like, no, I'm just going to go to sleep. And this is tomorrow's problem. Because it is today's problem.
And that's such a healthy, like, coping mechanism or strategy, because where you could have just continued to go in a circle all night long, right, and maybe you would have picked something eventually. You would have been so tired, even mentally from even doing that.
The decision.
Like, nah, sis, let's just go to bed because this is all going to get done tomorrow regardless. Yeah. You choosing not to stress out is already a step forward.
True.
Because you didn't waste time on that.
Yeah, and I could have been up all night trying to do all of them and then gotten no sleep and been here today looking like a zombie. Like, makeup can't cure everything.
Not enough concealer in the world. Not enough
concealer in the world. Like, yeah, I would have just been looking real crazy. But yeah, but then, you know, I'm still thinking about the fact that I chose not to do anything and just chose to go to sleep. And now I'm like, okay, but I still need to edit this and I still need to do these freaking toes because I'm tired of looking crazy. So I know. And then there's like the outsourcing part, right? When it does come to hustle culture and the things that to free up your time, the things that you can just outsource, you know? But right now I just feel like at this point, I'm not ready to outsource anything. Like they say before you outsource anything, you need to know how to do it and how to do it well.
And I get in the field. You're in the field era right now.
Exactly. And maybe I'm tired of being in the field, but that's just the era of life I'm in. And I just want to close these timelines. I want to close the gap in these timelines so bad. And that is what keeps me going. That's what keeps me motivated, because I know and I see the life that I want for myself very clearly. But it just gets exhausting. And I think where I get exhausted is the fact that I'm not there yet. Like, that's what frustrates me the most. It's like, I feel like I'm doing my best to make progress, but the progress is so minimal that it feels like, is this even worth it? And in the grand scheme of things, like when I zoom out, the progress is not minimal, but it feels like minimal. That in the moment.
Progress is certainly not minimal.
Yeah.
It's certainly not. I feel that you're in a different place in your life now than you were at the beginning of the year, than 6 months ago, and 6 months ago. And I don't know, I think the progression of your life has been one to learn from. So maybe that is, again, the inner critic that's like, okay, it's not moving, because you're with yourself day in, day out.
Yeah.
So, and I know I don't know the full story just looking at you from afar, of course, but you're also 25. So it's like, where else would you be right now?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I don't think most 25s are where you are. You know what I mean? Like most 25-year-olds haven't been able to live on their own, haven't been able to then have a full-time job, to then have another business that has multiple clients, to then also have their own brand, to then be traveling to all these places and then being able to document it in a way that then it creates exposure and visibility and revenue for you. Like, it's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
What are you talking about? I'm trying to be like chill right now.
No,
but I'm like, whenever you start
sorry.
saying shit like that, I'm sorry, we can cut this out. But whenever you start saying stuff like that, I just be like, what is she talking about?
It's just hard. It's literally just hard.
I know.
When you zoom out, yes, but it's just hard.
I know you have where you want to be.
It's the achievement.
You just have to, like, you got to just put it into perspective. Like,
I know.
There is a different type of 25-year-old you could be right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's people who are older than you come to you for advice. Like, you know what I mean? You are on track, and it's nothing worth having comes overnight.
Yes.
And you wouldn't want it overnight.
And
if it came overnight,
so
it would be something really, really shady and something that you didn't even really want for real.
Yeah.
So you gotta just trust in the process.
And that's hustle culture right there.
Yeah. You
honestly
always
making me feel like that. Yeah.
It's that pressure.
Yeah. Sometimes I need people like you to put stuff into perspective.
Like, no, but I'm always here to do that. Because when I'm in my own head and somebody will tell me something, I'm like, oh, well, when you say it like that,
right?
You know, but you're not thinking that every single day, because it just becomes your life. You just kind of become jaded to certain things. But there's nothing about your life that is not exceptional. You know, even when you're failing exceptionally. Like, I don't even know, not like you're failing exceptionally, but like the failure is just the way that you even learn lessons. It's like, I don't know, girl.
Well, girl, I appreciate it. Like, I need that. I need to hear that sometimes.
Girl, of
most
course.
of the time. But I appreciate you for even putting that into perspective for me, because then I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all. Actually, don't listen to anything that I said.
Nah, and it was like, it's crazy because I could have kept going. Like, I feel like I only just barely scratched the surface of what I feel like is good about you and what you have going on. So it's, just remember that.
I appreciate you. And that's one thing to just like pause and really just like take note of in general when it comes to things such as hustle culture. Like, for me, being just like an ambitious person, like, there's always going to be more. There's always going to be more that I could do. There's always going to be more that I feel like I could do. Like, even on like a day of 24 hours, like, I will go to bed at 1:00 and still feel like I could stay up and do more. But I'm literally just shutting off. Like, I'm literally being like, no, go to bed. Like, there have been nights where I've had to do that to myself because I could legit be staying up. And there's a thing, like, there's flow state too. Like, when I genuinely feel like I'm in flow state and I haven't felt that way in a while, and I'm like, I want to keep this going. But then there's the healthy part of just being like, no, like, you still need rest.
Yeah.
You know, you can resume flow state tomorrow. Oh, how do you even get in the flow state? All that stuff. But yeah, I definitely feel like I don't do perspective enough when it comes to just being a hustler and being part of hustle culture. And girl, I could go down the freaking list for you on the same note. Like,
girl, no, we ain't gonna do all that.
Like, we could sit here and have 3 whole books on like all the things, just like even you throwing it back to college, like even going that far as to when hustle culture started. Like, hustle culture doesn't start for a lot of people until after us, for real, like 27, 28, and then they realize, oh shit, like let me get my life together.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I threw it back to college too, because that's when I really felt the most tethered to that mentality. Yeah, like I didn't even have the confidence to be like, I actually want something different for myself. I just saw, I mean, Howard is a school full of hustlers. I saw everybody get into it, and I was like, well, it's time for me to get to it at any cost.
Yeah.
And now I just know what I'm gonna say no to. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, get somebody else to do it. Or I know how to tell myself, like, talk to myself in a better way. So I don't have as many experiences of burnout anymore, but it's always there. The temptation's always there. Like, I had an Alani phase.
Yeah.
I was cranking those out and staying up to whatever time to just get stuff done, because when you hit that flow state of something that has been a mental block for so long, it feels so good to just get it done. I don't care if it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, literally.
I don't care. I'll wake up tomorrow on time and I'll get what I have to do done. I might be tired, but at least this is getting done.
Right.
But I am trying so hard to just have better boundaries now, because I don't think that I'm going to be able to have that mentality and then just snap out of it years down the line as much as we would want to. I'm trying to like do that now, so that it's just a common practice for myself to go to bed even when that to-do list is full.
Yes.
Because it can get done tomorrow. Like I try to remind myself it just can. Okay, you hit the goal a little bit later, but you hit the goal happy and rested, and you're a little. And it's every day is not peaceful like that. There are some days where I'm just grinding it out, but I try to look at that as a season of like, okay, this week, this is what has to get done. Not my whole year was spent in survival like that, or just trying to grind something out. But it's also just deeper than action for me. I think what's so hard about not like going into that type of a spiral is that it's just so tied to who I am. Like my entire life, I have been in some type of accelerated program, or I was in tag.
Exactly.
My whole life, I have no idea how to do anything else.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how to take a chill pill.
I don't know how to do that.
How do you take it easy?
Yeah, like let me know.
What does that even mean?
Let me know something, because I just don't even know how else to be. Like there's just never been a scenario where I've gotten somewhere and I've haven't thought to myself, I'm about to be the best.
Right.
Even if I'm just competing with myself, like I just have something to prove to myself at all times. Yeah. And I do love that about myself, because it's created a life that I really enjoy.
Exactly.
But yeah, those boundaries, say, okay, but how far are we willing to go?
Right.
And yeah, there is a part of me that ties my self-worth to my accomplishments. Like I would be lying if I said I had a year where I was just stagnant, and I wouldn't feel low-key like a failure in some way. And that's something that I'll probably just have to sit with and unpack why I feel that way. I kind of do know because of how I grew up, and my parents weren't demanding, but they always just reminded me that I'm capable of doing really good things. So I want to make me proud. I want to make them proud. I want all of their time and investment and love and resources poured into me to mean something.
Yes.
I want people to look at me and just think, I'm so proud of her. Like it's crazy. Even when I have setbacks, I always frame it in a way when I'm telling it to my parents or to other people where like I infuse the lesson I learned from it. Like I feel like I have to just be, I don't ever want to look like I'm just free falling and I don't know what's going on, which is why I hold so many of my lessons that I'm going through in the moment to myself. And then after I'm like, yeah, I'll talk about it now that I feel like I'm on the other side. But when I genuinely don't know what to do, I hold everything to myself, because I just need everyone to feel like Kyndall is somebody with her head like screwed on straight. We're not worrying about her. So that comes down to just everything. Like I wanted to get my degrees, but I also needed my family to know that this is somebody that takes education seriously. Like I wanted to get a nice job at a nice company that has multiple offices so I could move around if I needed to and be a part of a large network, because I want that, but also because I need my parents and my community to know that like Kyndall has a good job after we just invested all this time for her to go to school. So there is a part of it where now at this point, I'm just so tied to all of these achievements that if I was to just stop achieving, I think I'd have a little bit of an identity crisis, because now what? Yeah. So that is something I think about too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even just going back to episode 5, where my entire identity is tied to achievement and affluence and all these things, like in radius, like the impact that I'm able to make on people. Like, girl, that's my entire life. My inner dialogue is just always like, if I'm not achieving, then what am I doing? Like, if I'm not working towards something, then what are you doing? That's why I really just, I can't wrap my brain around the concept of like bed rotting. You know how people be like in bed like all day, just not doing anything? Oh my gosh, like if I'm ever doing that, I am not okay. Like, you know, something is wrong if I don't want to get out of bed. And there have been days where like I've not wanted to get out of bed, and that's when I know, like, oh yeah, like you need to talk to somebody, like you need to write something down, like we need to do something. Like, what grounds you right now? Okay, doing your skincare, do that. Putting on a cute outfit, do that. Do something, because I just know when I get to that point, it's obviously not good. But I am definitely one of the people who feels like my entire self-worth is tied to achievement. Like you said, because you do feel like you have people in your corner who have poured resources and time into getting you to where you are now. And that's exactly how I feel. Like, I feel like my parents have done so much mentally, emotionally, financially, physically to help me to get to where I am. Like, even when I think about this too, I primarily think about SMS and like the sacrifice that they literally had to make, not only to send me there, but to keep me there and make sure that, you know, I was moving along progressively, you know, with everybody else. But it kind of just, it did make my brain kind of confused, if that makes sense, because it's like I'm in this environment with all these people who seemingly have a life handed to them, but I'm having to work for it. And so because I'm having to work for it, and I have to work really hard, it's not like I could just like kind of coast and be fine. Like, no, like I actually have to work to stay. Like, some people aren't even on scholarships, you know, like.
Girl, I was just thinking when you were talking, I had an experience in college where I was talking about FAFSA.
Yeah.
And someone was like, what's that?
Exactly. I literally had a girl come up to me.
What's that?
When I was talking about the school that I wanted to go to. Remember we were talking about that in setbacks? And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm just waiting to hear back about financial aid. And she came up and she was like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And then walked away. Nobody asked you to contribute to this conversation, first of all.
Bye.
Like, you can A, B, and C your way out. Like, literally.
It's just such a different world for some people. And you're busting your butt to be literally in the same place that they just like skated in.
It's like I
just have way too much invested.
Exactly.
The stakes are too high for me to act like I don't need to be in here proving something.
Exactly. And I definitely felt like I had a lot to prove.
Had it handed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think just like in general, I always feel like I have something to prove, but mostly to myself. I think I was having this conversation with you literally this week because I'm planning on getting a new computer. And I was like, well, I have to have this done. I need to have this edited by the time I get the new computer. And my wellness coach was like, but why?
Yeah. But why do all those things have to be done?
And she was like, well, how long is the video? And I was like, well, I actually don't know because my computer moves so slow that I can't put everything into the timeline. So I only know how long it is when I'm done. And she was like, well, isn't that the whole point of you getting a new computer?
Getting the computer would make that
a lot easier, right? And I was like, well, actually, but and I kept trying to make like some sort of excuse as to why I was trying to prove to myself that I deserved a new computer, when it's like, girl, you've been deserved a new computer. Like, when you started, you know, managing different contracts, like you should have got the new computer then, but you're being smart about it and you financially planned for it. Like, you already made room in the budget. Go get the computer. What are you waiting for? And it was just like, no, but I have to do this. I have to do this. And she was like, the only person you're trying to prove something to right now is you. And I don't know why you're trying to prove that to yourself, because you've constantly proved time and time again that you can finish and complete something, but you were just holding yourself back from accomplishing more by not doing this one little thing. So all that to say, I definitely feel like my self-worth at times is tied to achievement. And I'm really like, the older I get, the more that I'm trying to renege, you know, like on that mindset, because it's just it's not healthy. Like, if there is a day where I don't want to do anything, I should feel and actually not do anything and not feel guilty because of that, because I'm allowing myself the break, the rest that I need in order to feel like a more fulfilled human being. Because at the end of the day, like, we're still human. We're not robots, you know, like we can't always be doing something, you know.
Yeah.
I am certainly
not a robot. I am not your AI chatbot. I'm none of those things.
Right.
And yeah, like to the point of just needing to get up and do something. Because I will say I bed rot from time to time. And just even getting up and doing something to me just means like just get out the bed.
Yeah.
And like make it up. And just make sure you've bathed and put on some clothes. Like if I want to do nothing that day, at bare minimum, I did that.
Yeah.
You know, and then, okay, I can couch ride. Like,
Yeah.
I just try to just do something little so that I'm not truly, I did nothing for myself that day. But yeah, girl, like, a good bed ride, I don't know. I know you don't be doing it, but yeah. I personally, because it's, yeah, I think that's just what I've learned about myself. Like, I just need days where I'm not even thinking about how I'm moving nobody needle nowhere. I don't care. Because I just look around it like Earth. Like I'm literally on Earth.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm
this little.
I try to just remind myself that like this is such a beautiful world and I'm a human being.
Yeah.
And it's just a crazy experience that we're even here in the first place. Like, why would every single day need to be so structured and this and that and that? I have enough structure in my life. I'm not lacking structure. The structure's there. So me critiquing times when I'm not structured just feels strange because that's something that someone who has no structure should be doing. That's not my problem.
Exactly.
My problem is I don't know how to relax a little bit more at times. I always feel like I gotta be doing something, so that's what I should be leaning into. And days where I really want to, I just do. Like I really try to just do it. It's not always perfect because there is so much that I'm passionate about, especially now with like this spring and summer energy, so many new projects, so many plans, so many ideas. It's so easy to just want to do them all. But I told you, like today, I got invited to a rooftop party. I'm not going because I really did have in my mind, go home, kick my feet up, do nothing.
Yeah.
Sunday, I really basically want tomorrow to be nothing. Maybe a couple of little like light chores around the house, but I don't want to do anything because I haven't had the chance to do that in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And to me, that's not okay. Like, I just know that that's not okay for my personal comfort.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a constant battle between I have all these goals, but also what am I if I took all that away? Like at the end of the day, if all of this burned down tomorrow, who am I?
Yeah.
Like who genuinely is Kyndall as a person? Because there's some people where you can see who they are as people, even though they've accomplished a lot. And that's kind of what I want to be. Like, I know I already mentioned Solange, but that example of her just saying she's worked in wellness to her life that much to where you always think she's on vacation, but no, because she lives there and she does weekend trips. But then Solange is also a recording artist, and we know her for all of these phenomenal albums and for all of these. She's also, I think, she maybe is a museum or it's a gallery or something. I know she curates something or has some type of collective for art. We know her for so many amazing things. We do also know her for being a person that rests a lot and takes time for herself a lot. She's not always visible. She'll disappear for months because she's on a self-discovery path that doesn't involve output right now.
Yeah.
And that's genuinely who I want to be. Like, I don't need y'all. Beyonce too. Beyonce is like one of the most famous people on earth, and we will go a year from her with not hearing anything.
Yeah.
And she has things running at all times. She has a team, but she's also the most private person ever. And it's crazy how those two things can exist. And I'm sure Solange and Beyonce both know who they are if you took away all of their accolades. If we took away Beyonce's entire music career, I'm sure she could still tell us who she is. It wouldn't be like you were taking away her entire identity.
Yeah.
And right now I feel like if you took away my job, my degrees, my accomplishments, my answer might shake a little, and I don't like that. And I'm young, so it's like I have time to figure it out, but I don't want that to be a lifelong battle between, like, I'm just so tied to that because I also I have a soul that is more than that. You know what I mean? Like, not to sound too like spiritual or anything.
No,
but
I 100%.
That's something I think about.
Yeah. And I think it's so beautiful that you talked about with Solange. She'll go, there's maybe 9 months where she's outputting, she's in the public eye, she's at her gallery, she's putting out music, she's creating. But then there's like the 3 months where you don't know what she's doing. She's resting, she's on her solo trip, she's on her wellness trips, whatever she's doing, right? But We all need that time to come back, to rest. That's like the literal seasons change for a reason. And that's why the leaves literally start to die. They fall, the tree like shrinks or whatever it does, right? But you need those periods of rest. You need those periods to really be with self, to discover before you can output again. Because if you're constantly outputting,
there's nothing to even pull from anyway.
Exactly.
Nothing
the tank is empty.
has even happened. Mm-hmm. And that goes back to social media a bit, and a part of why, because if I was to try to do that right now, and I have, there's been times where I've been forced to do that. For example, like when I first came home and had nothing going on, I had to create all of my days because I didn't have a job, didn't have much really truly happening. It made me uncomfortable. Like, it wasn't some like always constantly beautiful thing of like, I just finally get to, there were moments I felt that way, but for a lot of it, I also just felt so ashamed and guilty and like, what am I even really doing? Where it wasn't a restful time. And social media, I feel like, amplifies that because there's always something going on. But I remember seeing this one creator, and I wish I remember who it was, but she said that the name of the game right now is just visibility. Everyone's like, you need to be visible. Visibility is key. But she's like, it's not evergreen. Like, you do not always have to be visible, because there are so many examples of women who are not always visible. And it creates this like air of mysteriousness around them. Like, you kind of are craving more from them. You got to give people an opportunity to even just be wondering what you're up to. Wondering what's coming next, because they know you're slow cooking something. Like, when Beyonce's dropping an album, oh, this has been slow cooking. We're about to get some quality. It's not like, sorry to my girl Taylor Swift. But I feel like she's a classic example of like, sometimes it's almost too much. You're doing something every year, and so your fans are excited, but they're also a little scared, because it's like, is this gonna really be a hit, good, or are we trying to like, is this a cash grab? Like, you don't want to be overly visible, and I think that's trying to find that balance. I'm just trying to find that balance.
Drop it right there.
But I'm trying to just remove like the shame and the guilt that I feel around those seasons where I'm not as visible, where I don't have a million things going on. Why do I just feel so guilty? Like, I don't like not having a lot going on for myself, because sitting with myself sometimes, it makes me ask deeper questions that I'm not sure if I'm ready to face. To be honest. So it's crazy.
I feel the same. I think that's why I'm always trying to be with somebody, and I'm always trying to be doing something, because I don't really want to sit and think, because I just want to do. Because if I sit and think and I ruminate, then what? And it's like, good things can come from that, but then also like other things. And I'm not really ready to deal with what those other things are. So the alternative is just to keep doing and to keep working.
Oh my gosh.
So
I've just gotten to a point now where it's so much easier said than done, but the journey I'm on is like, I have to do it. You got to sit with yourself, and that's when true self-love and self-acceptance comes in, when you've sat with every possible thought, every version of yourself, and you know yourself that well, and you love yourself anyway. You move on anyway. Like, it's not like I love my good qualities, my bad qualities, or like those thoughts I think when no one else is around. You don't even shy from it. It's like, that's just who I am. But it's like, you don't even get that opportunity when you're constantly doing something. It's I low-key like feel like I can feel the energy just like, I need my therapist on speed dial at this point. But it's just crazy how, that's where I'll leave it. It's just crazy.
Hustle culture is a crazy thing, and it's something that I feel like it's almost natural to fall victim to, especially with the timeline that we're on right now, with social media being a thing. And at least the people that I hang around are pretty ambitious people. So it's like, they've all, I'm sure, felt victim to it some way or another. But either way, if you do fall victim to hustle culture, one of the key takeaways is more so just like putting in that time for rest, allowing yourself to rest without feeling guilt, because rest is natural. The earth literally rests during winter, and then it blooms again in spring. So we are it's science. It literally is science. Like, there's a reason that we have to sleep. 6 to 8 hours a night because we need rest. Like our body needs that time to recuperate. Like that's why they say, like, if you're in the gym and you're working out, it's not going to do nothing for you if you're not getting the sleep that you need at night, because the sleep is where your muscles repair and they put themselves back together for you to pop out with those muscles a couple months down the line. But nothing like that happens overnight. It doesn't happen if you're not getting any rest. It doesn't happen if you're not eating the right things. And all that stuff is the nourishment that you need in order to create a better life. So yeah, hustle culture is one of those things that, like, you have to see where you fall in the spectrum of hustle culture. Are you going to be at the top where you literally don't give a crap about nothing and it's just straight your goals and that's it? Or are you going to be more so towards the middle of the funnel where it's like, yes, I have these goals, but I'm putting in and scheduling in time for rest and everything else that I want to do that brings me joy, but I'm still moving the needle towards my goals. And I guess the bottom of the funnel is like, you just don't care about hustle culture at all. Like, cool. Okay. That's y'all. But on the other hand, me, I'm going to be over here on this couch. I'm going to be in this bed. Like, and it's okay wherever you fall.
Doesn't
like,
matter.
It doesn't matter.
You just have to know where you fall and then be confident in that.
Yeah.
And not get, there's so much to be. Because I think if we didn't have all these external factors and we didn't have all of these narratives that we didn't necessarily even come up with ourselves, like we said, we've been feeling this way since we were kids just because of the environments that we were in.
Right.
If we didn't have all of that, we'd probably think about this topic way differently if it was just us and it could be unfiltered and we didn't have any expectations to live up to. But just do your best. Like, I think that's my takeaway too, is just do your best to strip all of that away. Really ask yourself who you are, what you want. And there's a lot of positive things to come out of being ambitious, and try to lean into the healthy aspect of it versus like the toxic side of hustle culture. But you know, a lot easier said than done.
It is a lot easier.
It's a work in progress. Like I feel like I say every episode.
No, I mean, but life is a work in progress. Like you don't ever get to 30 and you're like, oh, my life is complete. You don't get to 25 and like, I have everything I want, right? Like there's always things that are going to be under construction. But yeah, hustle culture can be one of those things that feels intoxicating too. You know, you're just like addicted to the feeling of getting things done, of like feeling like you're moving towards something. But when you start to get to the point of burnout and you feel that coming, first of all, you have to identify the signs of burnout. Of course, you have to go through burnout maybe 1 or 2 times to really see what those signs are. But once you see that, as soon as you see those signs coming, you need to like literally stop, reassess, restructure your schedule to fit in those times for joy, because that's literally what it is. Like you just are not making enough time for you, enough time for joy in your day. And once you do that and you restructure and you reassess and then you move forward, that burnout will not come as quickly than it might have previously done. But making time for rest is just so important regardless of where you're at in hustle culture or in life, really, just because we need that. So yeah, it's one of those things that we can't say that we've made it out on the other side, because
I just don't even think there is another side.
Yeah,
because every single person that I admire had a period of, and they speak about it now as being older, where they were just burnt out.
Yeah,
it's almost like, is there even a way with the way that it's structured to get what you want but be balanced? So you just have to know what you're willing to do.
Know what you're willing to do. Stop comparing yourself, especially when it comes to hustle culture. Like, oh, what this person is getting done, and just focus on you. Like, I just feel like the best analogy is just like to keep your head down. Have your mission and your vision statement, like your overall goal of what you want, even if it's just for the year. It doesn't even have to be for your entire life, but just for the year. Like, what do I want by the end of this year? Keep your head down. Work towards it, but just know, like, if you fall short, you still made progress. You're always making progress if you're working towards something. So
yeah, enough said.
Best of luck to you. What if that's how we ended it and you're like, dang,
best of luck.
Best of luck. Well, let us know if you made it out, because
we trying over here. I don't know. Nah, but
yeah, I guess that's the walkout.
That's the walkout for me.
Me too.
I enjoyed that.
Me too. But seriously though, like, if you are struggling with hustle culture, just lean into your periods of rest, lean into what you think you need, but stay focused on your goals, not everybody else's goals, the goals that you have, and make sure that your goals align with the truest version of you. Because a lot of the times I feel like we have goals, but they're not actually our goals. Like, they're goals that maybe our parents or our friends have put on us.
And they can be hard to cut through. That's the thing. You might think but you need that period of rest. You need introspection, because when you start uncovering a lot of layers it's crazy what you'll find.
Yeah,
it's
literally.
so crazy that you're like, I believe this. Why do I believe this so deeply? And when you keep asking why, it's like, oh,
it's
wow.
Yeah.
It's really enlightening though. It's, you know, it's the shadow work. It's scary, but it's also freeing.
It is freeing. It's like that exercise where they tell you ask yourself a question, then you answer it, and then you ask why, and then you keep going, and then you keep asking.
Going. It's insane.
It's really powerful. It's eye-opening though. I encourage you to do that when you have the spare time, because you have to make time for stuff like that to get to know yourself better. It's just really important. But that is what we're gonna walk out with today, because as usual, you know, we like to rap. We like to ramble, we like to talk, and we could keep talking about hustle culture. Like, I have so much more to say. Like, there could probably be a part 2 to this episode, to be honest.
It will come up. We will definitely have another episode on this. But then themes from this episode, I feel like they come up in like all of our episodes.
Do. Yeah, they literally do.
It's just like intertwined that way.
Right. For sure. But as usual, you know where to find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And if you're seeing our beautiful faces on YouTube, please do us a favor and hit that like button. Comment the little muscle emoji for hustle culture, because we hustling, we get into it. Yeah. And let us know like some of your takeaways, one of the things that you're working through with hustle culture, if there's any advice that you can give us, give other people. And as usual, we also have that let me help you out topic request form, which we are going to start integrating some of those submissions into our podcast. We'll have a whole separate segment for that. So if you have anything that you feel like you're struggling with, you want us to talk about, all those sorts of things, be sure to check that out in the description below. And same thing with the Black business. If you have one, if you know of anyone, if you visited one, just submit that form, and we would love to talk about them and try them out for ourselves. And just like that, we'll see you next time.
In the next one.
Bye.